Hey, what's going on, guys? And welcome back to to another episode. Today we are actually gonna do a stream that I actually did about 2 days ago, and I literally had to delete the stream because the microphone, it was just, there was so much popping that I knew that it was gonna be pretty annoying for anybody watching the stream. So again, thank you guys for tuning into my Twitch channel while I'm streaming, for watching my videos, and also for for following me on Twitch and subscribing to my YouTube channel and liking my videos. It really does help me to, it motivates me to make more content. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it. So today, in today's video, what I wanted to do was I wanted to do a comparison, or I wanted to see whether we're also very hyped to watch and be able to play FIFA 22, right? But we have this looming question that if you are a PC user, you want to try to you want to play FIFA 22 and with the next gen. Unfortunately for PC, that's not available, right? So they mentioned that you could play FIFA 22 using Stadia, Google Stadia. So that's where FIFA 22 Next Gen will be available for PC users. So if you have a PC, or if you wanted to stream it on your TV, you could do that. Now, the question is, of course, it's not available everywhere, but it is available in, like, the major countries. And there's this question about, is it gonna be laggy? Is it gonna have the same graphics? You know, um, is it gonna be the same experience that when it comes to like the input and just being able to play like you normally do in PC? So, like myself, I'm a PC user. I play FIFA 21. I play FIFA 21 or all the other FIFAs for quite some time. But right now, in this coming with this new FIFA 22, I'm very much like up in the air. What am I gonna use, and which is the one that I'm gonna use the most? So so hopefully in this episode we'll be able to answer some of those questions. Then also, I just want to remind everyone watching me on YouTube that this is a live stream. I don't edit the video for YouTube. So what you're watching is everything that's what I'm doing is live. I'm not editing anything. The gameplay that you're watching, the input lag or any or lack of, or whatever it is it's happening, it's all unedited. So you be the judge. You just basically decide, based off what I'm showing you guys here in this experience. So so one of the couple things is that as we know, okay, so FIFA 22 is going to be out with the next gen. On PC, it's not going to be out on next gen. So we all know PC. We know what that experience is. We know how it plays. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to not play the PC version of FIFA. I'm going to probably only play like one game at the very end, just so that you guys can do a comparison, between what I'm doing now versus the experience of you guys playing in PC. Now, what I'm gonna be using is gonna be FIFA 21 on Stadia. So I do have a Stadia Pro account, and I'm gonna be playing Stadia, and I'm actually gonna run a speed test on the internet. I'm also gonna show you what the performance and the data usage options are for Stadia. And while I'm playing Stadia, I'm gonna have a monitor on the side that you can actually see the input lag, and you can see the frame rates, and you can see all the little nuances of actually what's going on while I'm actually playing. We'll play two different types of games. We'll play a game in FIFA Ultimate Team, and then we'll also play a game in the career mode, so that you guys can see whether there's any difference in input lag. Because when you're playing online in FIFA Ultimate Team, it's like a double internet thing. You're connecting to the internet, but you're also streaming the game. So we want to see what that is like. If you do want to check out, so first things, let me cover PC specs. my PC specs are in my YouTube channel. I'm not gonna run through that, but you guys are welcome to see what I have in there. So it's in my YouTube, in my Twitch channel, in my about area. You're gonna see PC specs, and then also on top of that, we're gonna run a. I'm gonna switch over here to my screen, and this is basic. When we play Stadia, we are playing in a browser. So the browser that I am using, that it is recommended, and I've looked through all the different, like the websites and the tips and tricks as to what you should do or not do, whatever, like don't run any, VPN in the background. Try to turn off as many programs as you can in the background. Obviously for this purposes here, it's like, if you are a streamer and you were thinking about streaming FIFA, this is great because you can actually see how FIFA 21 performs while you're streaming. I am playing the game in 1080p at 60 frames per second, and I am down streaming everything to 720p 60 frames per second. That's usually what I run. I run Streamlabs OBS, and of course, I got multiple filters for my video, and also multiple filters for my my mic. And right now, as it says that I'm running at 15%. It fluctuates between 15 to 20% CPU, and the bit rate that I'm uploading is 6,000. I have it set to 6,000. So, and it always stays in that area. My internet connection is usually between 800 gigabytes per second, so, or gigabits per second, so, or no, megabytes. I'm sorry, megabytes per second. So it's not the slowest internet, but certainly not the super fastest one, but it's definitely pretty fast. And I will run a speed test for you guys. So the page that I have here in the web browser. Oh, I'm also running the browser that we're gonna run Stadia. It's gonna be the Chrome, Google Chrome, and it's gonna be in incognito mode, so that we are not running any of other extensions that might possibly interfere with the connection, so that you guys know that, so that's not happening. The only extension that I am running is so that you guys can are able to let's see, are able to see what I'm running. Is I'm running Stadia Enhance, which basically allows me to turn this off. Okay, so that allows me to show you guys what the bit rates are in the connection. So that's why I'm using that extension, but it shouldn't affect the frame rates or the input lag or anything like that, supposedly. So we'll see. Now for performance, when you're running Stadia, it says that you need, in order to, what we're doing today, what I'm doing today is up to 1080p. You're going to be using a data usage of 12.6 gigabytes per hour, right? So now this comes into the pros and cons of using Stadia. Number one is that the cons, pros is that you are using NextGen, so you will be using FIFA 22 with NextGen, but and you don't have to have the game on your PC or whatnot. You're streaming it, you could do it anywhere, on your TV, on your home. You don't need a controller, like you don't need a Google, a Stadia controller. You can just use your Xbox if you have it hooked up like this, to your PC. And the cons is, if you mod FIFA or you play FIFA modded, obviously you can't do it because you're connecting and you're streaming the game. It's not officially on your PC. If you do have the game and you bought it to Stadia, you don't need a Google Pro account, like a Stadia Pro account. The only reason you would need a Stadia Pro account is if you are wanting to stream the game on 4K. But other than that, if you're streaming it on 1080p, once you buy the game, you can just play it regular on Stadia. Like, it allows you to play the games without having a Stadia Pro account. So Now for the 1080p, that's also because you're downstreaming the game. You are using bandwidth, and it'll be approximately 12.6 gigabytes per hour. However, you're gonna be able to see on my monitor how much actually bandwidth I am using per hour or per the period that I'm actually playing. So you can see that, and it's probably gonna be a little bit less than the 12.6, because it all actually changes based on the menus that you're in. And if you're playing, it runs higher than if you're actually in menus, and you'll see how that goes. And of course, if you're running in 4K, it'll be 20 gigabits per hour. If you have a provider that gives you internet, I would highly recommend for you to get an uncapped uh account, version of your internet usage. Because if you have it capped at even a 1 terabyte, you will use it pretty quick. And do for my I'm gonna run my origin here real quick so you guys can see how many hours I got in FIFA, um in FIFA 21 using PC, so you guys can do the math. If you are running right, 90 minute now. Okay, so I do have the Play Pro here, and of course, if I click my FIFA here, you can see my hours. It says 1039, so 1,000, 39 hours. So you multiply that times, 12.5 or how many ever, gigabits per hour, and that's gonna give you a ridiculous number, which will definitely put you above 1 terabyte per month, which most providers only give you like 1 terabyte per month, and if you go beyond that, you got to pay extra if you don't have it uncapped. So if I'm a PC user, if I'm a FIFA, and I'm like, when it comes to like how pro am I in FIFA, I'm not very pro, but I play a lot, right? I play more than probably 40 hours a week because that's the game I love and that's what I like to do. So if you are playing 40 hours a week, or you're playing around that ballpark, you're gonna you're gonna hit the cap. So let's here you can I'm gonna move this in over here, and I'll open up the all right. So you know how many hours I got in there already. It says 1039. Then if I open this here, so you do 12.6, times 40, you're doing 40 hours a week. You're doing 504 gigabits, per month that you're using. And if you have, if you're streaming in your house, like, somebody's watching like 4K TV, like Netflix or something like that, you know, it's going to eat up that 1 terabyte. And this is based off 40 hours a week. There'll be weeks that you'll play longer than that, because if you when FIFA comes out, you can play 80 hours in 1 week. You'll hit that one terabyte fairly quick. So in my case, how many hours would I had you done? Damn it, I forgot the number here. All right, 1039. That's how much it was. Let me turn that off. 1039. 1039 times 12.6. 13 terabytes of data I would have used. So yeah, so that's per, let's say, a month. So every single month I use more than 1 terabyte, you know, of data for a whole year, and it hasn't been a whole year yet, obviously, since I started playing FIFA. So yeah, so you do that little math. Okay, so now the next thing is that um the checking connection. So one of the other things is this: even if you're signed up with the internet plan of okay, so Tim, okay, so it says that what I need to run FIFA hardware requirements. Okay, in Stadia, it says if you have an active Stadia program, network speed of 35 megabytes per second or greater, if you select it up to 4K. So it's saying that if you're playing 4K, you need a connection that's going to give you speeds coming in higher than 35 megabytes per second, right? Now, if you are just playing like normal, regular FIFA, you know, 1080p, it says that you would need an internet plan with 10 megabits or greater. We recommend that you do this test, and that's what we're going to do. If your connection is lower than 10 megabits per second in your home experience or it's unstable, you may want to contact your service provider, right? So it's telling you if you got a connection less than 10 megabits per second, you probably are not going to be able to play Stadia because you're gonna run into bugs, right? Like there's gonna be input lag. It's gonna be great. Most of the standard internet speed nowadays, I think the lowest thing that they provide might be like 25. Here in the US at least, and I seen like the standard base plans usually are like 100 megabits per second. So you should be fairly safe when it comes to connection, but you could do a speed test on it. And here okay, so I'm going to close this out. And the next thing we're going to go here, there's this website that it is the Project Stream. Google is basically based, it's a Stadia link. And what it does in here, you'll be able to check your speed. So we're going to check our speed. So I am running so incognito is the best, to run Stadia. So you can check out the speed here. And bear in mind, I'm streaming right now. I got a laptop running. My wife is watching TV in the room, which is a wireless. She's on her phone, which is connected to the wireless and all that. So as you can see here that based on your current download speed, I have 866.76 megabits per second. So I exceed the speed that's required even to play 4K, which is 35 megabits per second by a fucking mile, right? And there's a reason I want to show you guys this is because I want you guys to see the input lag that you still receive even though you're streaming Stadia. So that's the thing that I want you guys to, when you're trying to make decisions as to, well, should I play FIFA on, FIFA 22 on PC or should I play it on Stadia? Hopefully this can shed some light. All right. So now you saw my internet speed, what I have, what I'm downloading at, the speed that I'm downloading. I'm streaming right now and I'm using all this and that. And, I do have Stadia logged in and I'm running in the background. One of the things I also wanted to point out, if you are a PC user and you run FIFA 21 through Origin, you know how you got your web app and everything's fine. One of the things that you can do, you can link your EA account to your FIFA account, your FIFA game. In this case, I have FIFA 21 through Origin, and I got massive, my cards. You can look at my club. I can go through my squad here. This is my squad, right? I've been playing it for the extent of the whole entire year. I have all my cards and everything else. And then you're like, well, what happens if I link my account? Well, what happens is that you just retain two different accounts, just like different profiles, under the same account. So once you're here in the web app, you go into settings. There is a little tab here on the side. It actually says change your profile. So it's like right now I'm on the PC profile. And if I hit change, I can actually change it to the one in Stadia. So if I click on the one in Stadia, it'll change my web app to the team or my Stadia account. So right now if I go to my squad, you can see that it's totally different what I've been using with Stadia since I purchased Stadia or FIFA 21 through Stadia. How much did I pay for FIFA 21 in Stadia? Well, believe it or not, when I originally got Stadia, which wasn't very long ago, I had received an email saying, hey, you guys can, if you have a YouTube account, you guys can get 3 months for free for Stadia Pro. And then, you know, shortly after that, I said like, well, you know what? Let me check out FIFA 21 to see, you know, how that plays. And that shit was like $59.99. I was like, no fucking way am I gonna buy that game. You know, like that's ridiculous. So, but past 2 weeks ago, they dropped it down to $15. $15. So I'm like, you know what? For $15, I'm gonna go ahead and buy it just so that I can test to see whether it's playable. And because I'm a PC user, and let's see, in what I see is that however it performs under FIFA 21, more than likely it's gonna be fairly close to how FIFA 22 is gonna perform. So that's my take on it. So what I'm gonna do right now is, okay, so I'm gonna exit this because you guys already saw how I, you know, switch the accounts back and forth. So here's another, so here's me going back to my other profile. All right, and all right, so gonna close that out. So right now we are in uh in the Stadia mode, and I am running. Okay, so that little thing came up. So I'm gonna go check on the settings, and then I'm gonna check my performance. Okay, so right now I have it set up to, you know, to stream for me at 1080p. You know, and it's saying that I'm gonna be using possibly 12.6. Now, can I go 4K? Yes, I can. However, it'll kick me back to the 1080p because the monitor that I'm using doesn't go 4K. If I had the PC connected to my main TV in the living room, which I do, which is like right here, then while I'm using that monitor, I could just easily just change this to 4K. Boom, and then I can, you know, play that way. Now, one other thing. Okay, so one other thing is that, remember what I said, you do not need to buy a controller. You don't need to do anything. The only thing you need is just your PC and, you know, run Stadia off of the browser, the web browser. And this is the controller I'm using. I'm using an Xbox controller. So yeah. All right, and it is connected to USB. And if I was gonna play on PC, I'll do the same thing. I just, you know, take the controller over there, and I found that anything that's wired, and if you have it like you're running to your PC, it'll run fairly fast because you're not running wireless. You know, I'm saying, like, if you don't have to use Chromecast and you don't have to use wireless, and you can just connect your PC to your main 4K TV and using one of these controllers like this, you're gonna get the best speed. The input lag. Okay, so right now, what you do is just basically, you know, once you link the controller, you start it right here, boom, and it kicks on. All right. So what you are watching right now, it is the browser. It's nothing else but the browser. Like, I have it the okay, so it's saying right now the game may stop because your connection isn't stable, which is complete bullshit. So this is one of the thing automatically that you start like, why is it doing that? Like, there's no way that I should have a bad connection because of what I showed you, you know. Now this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna control tab here, and I do have a stream monitor here, and this is what I have right here on the side. It pretty much has everything that that's what we're doing with the game. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna move that right here onto the bottom of the camera. All right, so you can see the decoding time. You can see the frame rates if I'm getting any frame rate drops. You can see any latency in frames per second. You can see the resolutions that I'm running the game, and you can see how I'm coding the game is actually, you know, going through the hardware, which is like the best optimized way that you can actually play Stadia. Showing me the game time. Now, in my streaming, it shows me the decoding period And then on my network traffic on the bottom part here, you can't see it with my mouse, but on where it says, it says session stream network, on the network part is actually telling me session traffic is how many megabytes I'm actually using. And then on my current traffic is showing me my connection download speed. So it's telling me what I'm using. And you know that I just showed you that I am using a total of 800. Right now is at 800 megabits per second. And it will show you also my any packages lost, latency, and also jitter buffer. All right, so I'm gonna close that out. All right, so you can see all my stats in there, and we'll see how that performs. All right, so it started off in the very beginning. It was telling me, and I could go like this, and I could see my connection right now. Let me move my camera so you can see it, that it is in green. All right, so you see my connection next to my camera, like right there. You can see how my connection is green. So that's pretty much just saying that we have a good connection. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna take that off. All right. All right. So we're gonna jump into the game, and you guys can just be the judge as to how I am. My connection is playing and all that. So we're gonna start off with, we're gonna play maybe a couple games of FIFA Ultimate Team. See how the connection goes on there. And this is a pretty fresh account, so I don't have very many games in it. I don't have a lot of cards, because my main reason to getting it is just basically to try to see whether Stadia is a viable option for playing FIFA 22. So we'll see how that goes right now with the connection, so you guys can be the judge. In the menus, it's like no problem at all. Like it moves like normal, like you can see that like the latencies are low. The also the current traffic is used, like you see right now, it's like a 2.78 megabytes per second. And if I go to a different menu, you see it like three. So what we're looking at is that we're looking at the speed of the the latency of it. So while you're in the menus, like it looks exactly the same. Like there's I'm 1080p 60 frames per second. Like it looks legit, like you're playing actually on PC, right? The one thing that you cannot do in FIFA 21, or I'm sure in FIFA 22, you can't adjust the graphics. But while you're playing, you could tell that they actually already have it set up, maybe like at at 2x with the the anti-lacing and all that. Like there's the options of the FIFA. You had like off for 2x or 4x. It looks about like maybe 2x. And yeah, the graphics on the field, they look decent. They look they look all right. All right. So let's look at just some of these, so I'm not like wasting complete. I don't think I can really do much of anything here because trying to get any of the packs for the summer or anything like that, because I barely have any teams. But we can get some of these objectives done. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and play a game, see how well it does. And we're gonna do a, oh yeah, so one other thing too is, let me look at the team real quick. So I got an 83 rated team, and it's 100% chemistry. So when I play on my FIFA and my PC and I do a comparison, I'll try to do an 83 rated team, 100% chemistry. So it should play the same way technically. You can see here that I have mostly like all Premier League players, and you know, a couple, or actually just one player that's not in the Premier League, um, because he was one of the, you know, the high rated cards. So, all right, so we're gonna go ahead and squad battle, and we're gonna do 87. Oh man, what I should do, instead of doing that, I should do actually the top. I'm gonna do the top one only because I can actually do that same one when I play on the PC, so you guys can see the team that I'm playing against. All right, and we're gonna go world class. All right, and we're gonna do advance. All right. I don't know whether the sound. Let me go back real quick. I don't know whether I actually have. I'll do it in the game. All right, so I am picking the red team. Or I do have the. Damn it! All right, so I do have the white, the red kit. All right, so I do have the sounds a bit. I do have the sounds turned off. I was watching a movie earlier. I'll just go to. I'll go 2 with that, like that. All right. All right. So let's see how it plays. And of course, you know, we're looking at the, you know, everything that, you know, pretty much the stats, the session, the stream, the network. That's pretty much what I'm paying attention. And one other thing, I'm trying to see if I notice any kind of like input lag or stuttering or anything like that. And while that's happening, I'm also going to be looking at my network to see what's happening. One thing is, you can also see that the current traffic jumped up. So right now, as I'm playing, you see how it jumped to like 8 megabits per second. Okay, so I am running at 1080, 60 frames per second, and the latency is 18 megabit milliseconds. I mean, and it actually moves fairly. It moves actually pretty good.
Into the area. Deserves credit for winning the ball back. Lewandowski. Van de Beek.
All right, so let me pass the ball around just to see whether there's any kind of like input lag. I mean, right now it moves smooth, like, you know. Yeah, there is no. I don't feel anything. There is maybe the slightest bit of kind of sluggishness, but you know how sometimes your team might not feel like the fastest, but that's not a connection issue. That's just how FIFA does you freaking wrong sometimes, even if you got 100% chemistry. Alright, so we're looking at also any frame rate drops, and we're looking for packages lost, and everything right now is at 0. Like, you can see, like, it'll dip to maybe like 58 frames per second, but it stays pretty steady at 60. 1080p.
Straight into the meat of the penalty area. Danger averted. Sissoko. And giving the ball away. Lewandowski. This is Kroos. Lewandowski. And it's won by Emerick Laporte. And after the cross, Laporte with the block. Van de Beek. Well, lots of excitement with Emerick Laporte on the pitch as he makes his debut. Lee, what can we expect to see from him?
Let's see if I can do it.
Can he put them in front? He
Okay.
succeeded in getting his fist to it.
Right now, to be honest, I'm like, it looks decent.
Toni
You know,
Kroos.
mind you, the first time I was actually doing this stream, there was a bit of a
Klose.
little hiccup that I was experiencing. Actually, I could tell just every once in a while, like there's like certain moments that you get this kind of like little,
Van de Beek.
I don't know if I call it lag, but it's kind of like just like a tiny little freeze or something like that, like a jitterness
Kroos.
to it, and it's not that noticeable though. Like,
And he read it well.
I mean, you gotta be like nitpick about it, you know. Now, if I was playing, I guess competitive,
And it's Max Kruse
I don't think I would be able to play with Stadia, but if I was playing like career mode,
Excellent assessment of the situation.
you know,
Takes aim.
if I was playing career mode,
Always important.
you know, in
Lewandowski has backed
casual, you know, FIFA Ultimate Team, definitely, I think right now, me having this experience, it's doable, you know. Now, if I'm like a hardcore, you know, FIFA player that, you know, only strives for weekend leagues and, you know, getting FUT champions and, you know, all that shit, like, you know, and all you did is like rivals, then I'll probably say like maybe Stadia's not, you know, not for you. I think this suits more those that really want to play next gen. You know, if you want to play next gen and don't have a next gen console, I can see that, you know, and you also have the connection. I can see how you can. There you go. You see, there was this little like laggy moment, and if I'm looking at my connection, there appears to be like no frame rate drop, even though I am actually technically experiencing it. That makes sense.
This is Kroos. Giving the ball to the opposition that time. Well, they couldn't keep it. Van de Beek. Nemanja Matic.
Offsides.
Gabriel Jesus. Well, unable to hold his run, and that's offside. Kroos. Nice looking.
And you know, what do you guys think about it? You know, what are you guys gonna do, you know, when FIFA 22 comes out? Do you plan on getting Stadia? You know, leave a comment in the YouTube channel or the video. I'll be interesting to find out what you guys are gonna be doing. You know, do you also have concerns about the connection?
Really a very poor ball.
You know, whether it's doable also because of the, you know, the
Kruse.
amount of bandwidth that it actually takes. So you can tell right now that it says that my session time is 16 minutes. And I have used
Lewandowski.
730 megabytes.
Time to play it over.
And yeah, that's pretty much what I've used so far. So if you do have a, you know, I guess if you got a hard, you know, hard cap on your connection, you could get one of these extensions for Stadia.
Van de Beek.
and you can keep track of your usage. I mean, of course, you know, your internet provider already has one. You know, like you could check with them, but this is kind of like a on the live thing, you know, where you can actually see while you're playing how much you're using. Like you're like, well, today I'm gonna play Stadia and play FIFA 22, whatever, and I don't want to go over, you know, 10 gigabits or whatever. You can just while you're playing, you can check your session traffic. All right, so that was the first half.
Plenty to consider based on what we've seen so far as the second half begins. Donny van de Beek. Nemanja Matic has it. And unable to keep the ball. Well, he's given us away.
Swear, man. Sometimes when FIFA doesn't want you to fucking, you know, have a speedy team.
How about the cross?
Even if you got 100% chemistry, like.
Lewandowski. And return to Müller. Careless in possession. Close it. Can he finish this?
Jesus Christ, the goalkeeper just fucking just sat on his ass.
Things look good for them now.
Well, it's really top-class play. Huge amount of work on the training ground in order to drill a team to be this capable of carrying out pressing football like this. Top draw.
So 2-0 now.
So now on my connection speed on OBS, I'm looking at 16%, and also I'm still streaming at, you know, 6,000. Normally if I'm playing like FIFA on my PC, my OBS will go up a little bit on the CPU usage. It'll tell me what I'm doing. So I think because I'm actually streaming, it's less taxing on OBS. Or, you know, like downloading the stream, not instead of playing off my CPU. Okay, so right now it wasn't switching over to my player. So I just noticed that too.
If you have that much of the ball, you can put pressure on the opposition defense, and they look like they're creaking. That's why they're winning comfortably.
Christensen. Nemanja Matic has it. It was a menacing attack, but tidied up.
I mean, again, I don't have the best team. You know, like it's not. Oh my god. So freak. All right. That's all right. The main thing is that we test the game. I don't feel that bad. So latency on the I see it at is it fluctuates between 17 and 20. But actually sometimes like look 32 right now, 20. Let's see with the passing. If I pass the ball around a lot, this 2019, 22. I mean, it's not horrible, you know what I mean? It's not bad. It is on while you're playing on PC, you will notice it is, you know, buttery smooth. You know, there is no input lag, and you know, it's like super, you know, very responsive, and the players too. When you're playing Stadia, it feels just a hair, you know, just a bit different. And there is that tiny, you see there, like it jumps a little bit, like there's just like jitteriness if you're doing things that are like too much. I don't know if you guys can notice that on the video, but I'm hoping that you guys do, because that's the whole point of me streaming today. You know, so you guys can notice any of that. It's still very 3-1. All right, so I see now that there is one packet lost. One packets lost, one. So, and the jittery buffer is 27.28.
No shortage of goals in this match. 3-1. Toni Kroos. Joshua Kimmich. 15 minutes remaining. At times they make passing look easy. It's a perfect challenge. Flag up, tight offside. Sissoko. Getting in there to take it away. Toni Kroos. Kroos. Alert defending.
I don't know. Honestly, I'm kind of like up in the air with the not with the Ooh, that might have been a foul. Not necessarily with, you know, using Stadia to play FIFA. Like, I could totally see me using this to play like a career mode. I'm just not certain about playing Ultimate Team with it. Like, I'm just not convinced yet with Ultimate Team, honestly. It's just the responsiveness that you feel from the players is a lot slower. It's not the same. And the last session I tried to do this video, I had the same conclusion, you know. Now, if you want to play career mode, like, I will definitely play career mode with Stadia, just so that I can get those extra cutscenes and, you know, that little extra eye candy and the motion, all that in the gameplay might be slightly, well, I mean, supposedly they say it's gonna be significantly different. So I do see me using it for that. Now, will I use it for Ultimate Team over PC, the old gen? Probably not. And of course that's yet to be seen, because I don't know how it's gonna perform like 100%. But if it performs anything like this, like, to me, it's just, I don't know, there's something about it. It's just a bit kind of slow. One other thing is that the transfer market that you use in Stadia, it is shared with the PC version. So if you are anyone who was using FIFA 21 or anything, you share the transfer market. So there's not going to be like less players in the, you know, for you to buy in the auction house. So all right, we're gonna do one more. I'm actually two packages lost there, and also you can see the current traffic. It actually went back down to less than a 1 kilobyte, or not kilobyte, megabyte. So it's like 400 or 433 for, you know, if you're not doing anything. And also the traffic went down to 1.43 gigabytes. All right. All right. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to play a career mode game to see whether or not the connection or the lag or the jitter buff or anything like that changes if I'm playing career mode. Because of the fact that when you're playing Ultimate Team, you're playing an online service game. So we're gonna see if I'm playing not necessarily on an online service game, but playing off their servers, whether the game actually improves. So we're gonna play that. We're gonna do that. Did I change the team over? Let's see. No, I haven't changed it. I had done Manchester United, so we're just gonna play one game. Let me go ahead and change the. See if no, we'll leave it like that. We'll leave it with the white. All right, so we're just gonna play the match, and we'll see how that performs. All right, so we're not playing an online service. We're playing in their servers right now.
Hello and welcome to the city of Leverkusen. The venue for this game is the Bayer Arena. My name is Derek Ray, and with me in the commentary position is the former Arsenal fullback Lee Dixon. And we have more live action from the pre-season second group stage. It is Feyenoord taking on, and he's made headway. Martial, and the post denied him.
All right, so right out of the gate, I can tell.
Well, you do feel, Derek, with the pressure they're putting on this team, a goal will come. They can't get much closer than that, can they?
It is playing much faster.
Sinisterra. Oh, what an opportunity! And thwarting his opponent in the nick of time.
I am noticing a slight like jitterness to it once in a while, and although I don't see me like the latency, I don't see it being any less, or that I'm dropping frame rates.
Fred. Well, there are many who regard Bruno Fernandes as the complete footballer. Lee, what do you think we'll see from him today?
Well, he plays the game as if...
Must take the lead here. What an important piece of defending. And he's fired over the corner. No problems for the keeper.
So there's that jitter. There it is again. So if I notice a jitter, I'm just gonna call it out, just in case you guys don't see it. There was another one, a little one there. So every time someone gets the ball, there's some kind of like big interaction. There is a little bit of a I don't know if I call it like a little hiccup. Yeah.
On the move again. Could play it in. They've lost it. An alert intervention. Sinisterra. Intercepting it intelligently. Oh, nice ball over.
I think that might have been offsides. Yeah,
well,
offsides.
timed run, just a fraction offside.
And I mean, it's funny. I just saw like Greenwood. I swear, it just kills me that FIFA in FIFA 21 they hadn't fixed it. But you know, because most of my videos as of late that I've been doing a lot of the, playing a lot of the mods. I do play tons of mod. The FUT Realism mod, I use it when playing career mode. And I love using that mod. And definitely, when FIFA 22 comes out, I'm gonna continue to use it, and be a part of their the Patreon and all that, you know, and do it in the community, because it just enhances, you know, FIFA that much, you know, that much more. But if I am using Stadia, obviously I'm not gonna be able to do it. But am I willing to maybe sacrifice using the mods to play the next gen? There could be a possibility, and that's the reason why you know, you want to, you know, check like where is it better to run my career mode. Is it better to run my career modes in Stadia because it has next gen, or is it better to run it offline or using PC because I can use my mods? So I think that you could, you know, like myself, you could do both. You know, if you wanna run the mods, you keep the PC and you run it off of Origin. You know, paying the, you know, the Play Pro account, which is like, you know, $14.99 a month, and then you get all the other games and everything else like that, and then you can just use that FIFA to play offline. And then if you want to play, you know, vanilla FIFA next gen, and you want to do a career mode with that, you could do it with Stadia. Like, you can do both things, you know, you don't have to sacrifice one or the other. I think the biggest question is I think the biggest question is where is it that I'm gonna run my FIFA Ultimate Team? Am I gonna run my FIFA Ultimate Team in Stadia, or am I gonna run my Ultimate Team in, you know, in PC? So, you know, right now to me, you know, it just seems like the gameplay wise, without the lag and the little jitterness, it seems like it's just better on PC, right? But if you're looking for that next gen, you know, anything, then yeah, use Stadia, right? Does the game run a little better on career mode? I don't think so. To me, it performs exactly in par with how I was using it on FIFA Ultimate Team, just like the last game that I just played. It runs exactly identical. Like, I don't, in my streaming information that I see here, it looks exactly the same. There's nothing different. Same latency, same jitter buffer, same decoding time, same frames per second, no frames drop. Like,
Over it comes. Just over the top in the end. Anthony Martial. He's in with a chance. Has a go. And a goal. Now they've broken through. 1-0 here.
Well, here's the replay, and it's a lovely through ball to set up the chance. And he composes himself, coolly slides it past a lonely keeper, who will be asking questions about where his back four went to.
So back underway in this game. Manchester United with the advantage.
I mean, right now, who knows? Maybe by, you know,
Mason Greenwood.
in the next, you know, FIFA 23, maybe they'll have the new gen, you know, next gen on
So the whistle
PC.
from the halfway stage in this match.
I'm hoping. So, oh yeah, so on the graphics on my PC, can it, you know, technically speaking, if they did put out the next gen for, you know, for PC, I could definitely run it. You know, I have like 32 gigabytes of DDR3. I don't have like the super fastest computer, but I have a pretty decent one. I think, you know, medium high specs. You know, 32 gigabytes of DDR3. I have a 2060 Super graphic card, RTX 2060. I also got, you know, it's running off the NV, you know, the chip, the graphic card chip in there. Okay.
And the ball moving again.
It's,
Advantage United,
I
but plenty
mean,
of time for a few twists and turns here.
yeah, you can look, you can go check out my Twitch channel, and you can look at the PC specs in there, and then my connection, my internet connection is pretty decent. Like, I'm not gonna you know, it's not gonna hinder my gameplay, or it shouldn't hinder the gameplay on Stadia. Yeah, I do notice that little jitterness, and I don't think there's anything that I can do about that. I don't think that's dealing with connection.
And scope for them to produce something exciting. He made it look simple, really. Not a great pass. Excellent challenge. Well, an influential presence up to this point, Bruno Fernandes. Lee, your thoughts? Opportunity it is. Surely. Just cleared away.
Oh man, I thought it's gonna be clear to pass that over.
So deciding to make a personnel change at this juncture. So the corner played into the box. Gets his glove on it. Lindelöf. Bruno Fernandes. Here's Martial. Martial. Oh, goodness me, he set the post. It was a nearly...
Almost had, if I had a finesse shot in there, I probably would have gotten it in.
Massive relief from the goalkeeper. He stood and watched, and then it ended up in his hands.
Bad pass.
Man, there's just this like slight delay on it. It's just, I can't get over it. You know? I'm trying to really convince myself. I don't know if you guys notice it, but I mean, I'm kind of like, once in a while when I'm hitting the buttons, it's just, you know, and I could see it also fluctuate a little bit there, you know, between, if I go 16 and then sometimes it'll go like, you know, anything higher than like 27 or something like that, that's almost like double what it is, or what it should, you know, what it was in the beginning. So 25. So let me just look at the input lag here. Like, when you pass the ball a lot, let me see, 43, you see there, it like jumped up 43, 20, then it goes 18. So there's like your moments, there's moments that it does lag. You do get some input lag in there. 18, 18, 18, 15, 20. United have it once again. 26. See, when I do notice it. You can tell when you're playing and you're like, if you just take a quick glance while it's kind of like not doing how you want it to do, you do notice that the numbers are higher. Which higher means more lag, or, you know, input lag. Now the one thing I don't understand is, like, I am getting this jitterness on it, right? But I see, like, you know, the package loss or the frame rate drops, they're still the same. I don't understand why that is. If I'm getting that little kind of, that little pause, and it's like not even like a fast, like there, it's not even like fast. You see, like there, it's so good, right? But every once in a while, (26, 20 or 25, 23). Well, you know, I'm over here looking at the numbers instead of the game mostly.
Well, here's the replay, and it's a great ball into the danger area, and what a great finish as well. Good connection with the ball, leaving the goalkeeper absolutely no chance. Fantastic goal.
So a level contest, 1-1.
There was one that was significant right there. That was there goes another one too.
Martial.
All right, let me try to score, so I don't completely at least lose this
Successfully cut
game.
out. Bruno Fernandes. Fred.
Jesus, can you
Use
hold
of
on to that
advantage
shirt a
in
little
United's
tighter there,
favour.
bud?
Might go ahead. It's opened up for him. And the challenge, crisp and clean.
Well, it's jumping in the air right
25,
now. The crowd
25
are desperate for a
jitter
winner.
buffer.
Can the players deliver?
And it crossed the touchline, so a throw in here. Scott McTominay. Mason Greenwood. And the search goes on for a winner. Time is tight. Must take the lead here. And that is defending of the highest order. Joao Teixeira. Can they hit on the break? It's with Berghaus. And the flag has gone up here. Offside the decision. Shaw. Bruno Fernandes. Greenwood.
I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you guys see when that happens? Like legit. I'm not sure, man. I think it's so maybe it's so minute that only I can see it. No, there it is again. Like,
Do they have a winning goal in their future? Can they forge ahead?
I think I'm the only one that sees that,
That could be oh so
because I don't think it's significant enough to show up on the screen.
Well, here
But
it is again. The through
but then
ball is
again,
perfectly timed. It causes havoc and he composes himself, coolly slides it past a lonely keeper who will be asking questions about where his back four went to.
So back underway in this game. Manchester United.
so my question was, does it perform faster or better than if you were playing FIFA Ultimate Team? No, it performs exactly the same way. Like it doesn't work any better
And slipped
or
through.
any worse.
Not to be
It's
this time.
pretty much in
And there
par
it is, the final
with the
whistle.
same
It's a
experience that you
Manchester
would
United
have if you
victory,
play in
but
FIFA
fans
Ultimate
will be
Team.
happy
All
about
right.
that lead.
Yeah, well, it could really have gone either way. It was so competitive for much of the game, but they just kept pushing. They kept
So right
believing.
now
The crowd deserved the winner in the
we
end.
have done a total of
His performance in this particular game will have impressed
you
many
know, we
people.
played one game in
Clearly the
career
difference
mode
between the two sides
and then
today,
one
two
game in
goals, a
FIFA
really
Ultimate
good
Team.
performance, ran into the challenge,
And
everything
right now
right,
the
absolutely
session that
aye, aye.
I've played so far has been 44 minutes and 45 seconds, and I have used 3.4 gigabytes. And remember what I've mentioned to you before, that it showed the number of, you know, 1080p at 60 frames per second, that it was gonna run you 12.5, you know, or 12 gigabytes per hour. It's pretty much using half of that or less than half of that right now. So even those numbers that are over there are overinflated. So that's actually a good thing, because if you thought that you were going to use that much, you're not going to be using that much. All right, so right now, and then you can see here that once I'm in the menus, the current traffic, it drops down significantly. So you can see, so again, you're not using that many that much bandwidth on it. Save, and we're gonna save over this one here. All right, we're gonna go and get out of this menu. All right, so now that is all right. So that is the experience of using, uh, you know, FIFA in Google Stadia. Okay, with the, I guess, with the fastest speed that you could possibly have, you know, with internet and everything, that will show you lag. It'll show you input latency, all that other shit. Okay, so we're gonna exit this here. So we're gonna exit the game. Okay. And I'm gonna say I had a fair experience, and mainly I'm just gonna put, I don't know, man. I'm just gonna put visual skips in there. It's like the little thing that they has, and then I'm gonna close it, and now I'm going to use Origin, and I am gonna run it on PC so you guys can actually see the difference. And we're gonna run one game on on Ultimate Team, and then one game in Career Mode. So, all right. So what am I running here? Ultra high 4x, window borderless. Actually, I could just use full screen. Ultra 2. Could do 2. That's normally what I usually do when I'm streaming, anyways. And then I'm gonna turn off the display. I'm gonna turn off the display and hit the game capture here. Oh, I put I got the Hypermotion logo on it. It's not Hypermotion. Disregard that. Boom. Take that off. Was I playing like that the whole time? The Hypermotion logo on it? All right. So yeah, so this is running, let's see, right now on my I'll tell you what the numbers are on OBS too, because right now it's at 19, so it fluctuates 15% CPU, 19% CPU. Now I am gonna have to pick a different team, which I'm gonna have to pick like an 83 rated team, so you guys can just pretty much like see what, do a comparison. So okay, on this one I think I actually had it. Yeah, this one I think I actually had it muted. I did. All right. All right. So let's go ahead and change the team real quick. We're gonna call this team Stadia. My Stadia tests. All right. I can't put any of these players in here, unfortunately. You can also see how the AI also behaves, because All right. Now we are gonna pick the Premier League like we had it on the other side. We'll even see if we're able to actually pick some of the players that we had before here. So let's see. All right, so let's well, definitely I can't pick. Did I? Oh, I know why, because I think I had Aguero, but I had him for Barcelona on the other side. All right, so we're gonna pick. We're not gonna pick anything like super souped up, right? Mason Mount. Actually, even if I pick a lower rated team, that'll be okay. Like, you know. I think I gotta pick the whole dirt Chelsea team here too. We'll pick this card here. Why not? Miss Pilueta. And you know, I thought I had Pickford for some reason. Maybe he's not that high. Let me see, do I have Pickford? I don't have Pickford. Got Mendy. Okay, pick Mendy, why not? Then we'll leave it like this. Alright, so I got 86. Okay, so 86 because I got all these other guys here on the bottom. So what? It's not really 86. If I took some of these guys out of here, you know, the subs, which I'm not gonna use, the team will definitely be less than 83. All right, and we're gonna pick the same team that we had last over here in the very top. We're gonna pick a world class because we did that with the other team. All right, so we got the black kit.
And everyone is ready to go here in Berlin at the Olympiastadion. Derek Ray here on the commentary box, joined as always by...
So right out of the gate, like, you know, playing here with this here, I mean, first off, the responsiveness of the PC, you know, because it's running off my PC, is just so much better. And the responsiveness, you know, that I'm getting from the players, you could tell, like, it's so much greater. Like, there's no fucking doubt about it. Like, it plays better right out of the gate, you know. Oof, that was nasty. Yeah, I mean, the game performs better. I mean, there's no question about it. And it looks sharper. It looks better too. You know, just the edges look crispier. You know, overall. If I had to play FIFA Ultimate Team, I would definitely do it on PC. Ooh. Nasty. Yeah. Yeah, I think that, you know, just doing a comparison right now, if I would say if I wanted to play, you know, Stadia, FIFA on, you know, on Stadia, it would just be to play career mode. The off chance that I wanted to play career mode with NextGen, I honestly don't know how they're gonna I don't think they're gonna implement, like, next gen graphics. Like, I don't know how that's gonna be possible. I don't think that's gonna be possible. I could see them maybe doing hyper technology, but not doing.
Close it. An important interception.
Yeah, I wish I could show you guys the frame rates, but I think it's pretty clear that if what you saw over there, me playing Stadia, was at 60 frames per second, that this is running the same thing, because I do have it capped at 60.
Mount.
Yeah, and the passing over here is like super responsive. Like, you know,
And a throw in forthcoming.
there's no lag. Like, there's no input lag. Like, it's almost like instantaneous. You know what I mean? Like,
Cruise it. Wes Morgan here. Mount. They've given it away.
when it does those tiny little fucking passes sometimes, like, oh, that's not what I meant to do.
Lewandowski. Rudiger.
I got beat last time, didn't I? In the
Losing
last
possession
game.
here. This could be the equaliser. And it is the equaliser.
Yeah, playing even here, playing this on here, even though your team is like lower, like you feel like you got a chance because of the responsiveness, you know, like over there I felt like I was just like way down, weighted down.
Goes through 1, 2, 3. In the end, it's a wonderful solo goal.
Well, the earlier goal cancelled out. One apiece.
All right, well, that's just my opinion, guys. You know, you guys decide. I hope that this video
Lam.
you know, helped.
Course.
And you know, when FIFA 22 comes out, like, I'm definitely gonna run this again, like, with
Antonio. Can he put them in front? Making sure nothing
I'm gonna run the same test again,
Superb tackle.
with the latency and all that, and also to see how it plays, you know, like
Across the touchline, so a throw in here.
getting career mode gameplay.
Mount. Antonio. Still passing it around with authority. The
Oh,
goals seem to be at his mercy,
didn't think I was
but
gonna sneak
defenders
through
will
there.
always have to touch the ball to have an influence.
No, it's that pressure that comes from the
What I should have done is
defender
actually
makes it
should have
really
picked the
sharp.
same freaking players I had over there. But maybe I don't think
Acknowledged.
I probably did have the cards too.
The hosts have really controlled possession.
In this team, I mean, I got like a I think over the span of a whole year, I got like 1,000 players in there.
Very average. The coach, he's not happy at all. He wants more from this team.
What's he going to do here? Müller. Now with Lewandowski. Kruse. And the pass in behind the defence. Quick thinking from the keeper. Winks. Hudson-Odoi. Read that brilliantly at the back.
All right, let's see if we can make another goal.
Lam.
Yeah, so there's no input lag, there's no jitteriness, there's no,
Get ready for the throw.
there's nothing. Like, this is when you're playing on your own PC, you know, and you can, the fidelity of the graphics, even, yeah, they're just, oops, they're just so much high, you know, they're higher. I honestly don't know how Hypermotion's gonna come into play, whether it's gonna be that big of a deal for me to say,
Possession.
you know, no, I'm not gonna play on PC.
Canny defending by
because if I'm going by performance, this beats Stadia by a fucking mile. You know, because in this game, lag and input lag and jitteriness and all that shit, it matters. It's a big factor. You know, you don't want to play a game that's, oh my god, I can't believe they made that goal. You know, you don't want to play a game that's gonna be like laggy, or that's gonna it's gonna be like every once in a while, like.
Well, here's the replay, and you can see why the manager's furious. Just really poor play, offering up possession far too easily.
Yeah, so I definitely prefer FIFA Ultimate Team on PC rather than on Stadia, on at least on FIFA 21. So how is that gonna change on FIFA 22? I'm not sure, but right now it's not looking good for Stadia, at least on my end. Maybe career mode, just for the extra scenes and all that. But hey guys, thank you guys for watching. I hope this video was informative and you guys, were able to get something out of it. So if you definitely liked it and you think it was helpful, leave a comment, leave a like, follow, subscribe. It helps. So again, thank you guys, appreciate it.